I've got great news for you if you're a Broncos fan who has missed the playoffs, who's missed postseason football, who's missed being relevant in the future. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. I break down all things Broncos sports, and I'm so pumped that you're here riding with me. Now, it would be easy to look at this season and kind of guard your heart by saying, oh, the Broncos aren't for real. These past 4 games have been a fluke. But I have evidence that we are about to make a deep playoff push, and great news. Let's dive in. First thing was, if you tuned into the NFL yesterday, you saw the Green Bay Packers win their second game in a row against the Detroit Lions, the Lions that everyone has been saying are going to make a Super Bowl run, the Lions that won opening game in Arrowhead against the Chiefs, and really everyone has been drinking that blue Kool-Aid saying that these Lions are legit. Dan Campbell bites kneecaps and they're going to make a deep run. And you saw the Green Bay Packers beat up on a short week, go into Detroit and just really dominate that entire game against them when everyone had written them off, only to have won the game previously against the Chargers when, again, everyone had written them off. And so I think it's easy to look at this 4-game win streak from the Broncos and say, well, it's a fluke. It started with a win against the Packers, and you barely eked it out. And I've been saying this for a long time, but if you look at that 1917 win against the Packers, of their 17 points, 2 of those touchdowns were on fourth down conversions that never should have happened, that if it happened on Madden, you would have thrown your controller. The first one was a double slant pattern where Jordan Love underthrew his receiver so bad that it got batted up, and a fluky catch in the end zone for the first touchdown. And the second one, Pat Surtain simultaneously caught it at the same time as the Green Bay tight end, and the refs came out and said Surtain had possession first, and in hindsight, that should have been an interception. And so really, we started off this 4-game win streak when the entire nation doubted us. We started off that win streak by beating a Packers team that was desperate and really blowing the doors off of them, and it should have been a 19-3 win instead of a 19-17 win. But regardless, we then go in and we beat Mahomes, and hold him to 1 touchdown over 2 games. We beat Josh Allen. We beat the Pastronaut and the hottest team in the NFL with beating the Vikings. And this 4-game win streak is not a fluke. This is Sean Payton having turned over the culture of the Denver Broncos. The other really interesting thing is just seeing that the only game I was really nervous about going forward was the game in 2 weeks against the Lions. And you just saw back-to-back weeks the Lions should have lost to the Bears, and now they just lost to the Packers. And so I think the future is just very bright, and the immediate future for this week is even cooler. The first thing that's really neat to see is just taking a look here at the coverage map of what we got going here with where this game is going to be. Oh, gotta love all these pop-ups, right? If you look at where this game is going to be, this is what we like to see, Broncos country. Do you remember when you didn't know if the Broncos game was going to be on your TV if you lived in certain places? And now if we look, and this is why we say that it's Broncos country. Look at all that blue. If you live in that blue, the game is on your TV, and that is a really good thing because the NFL wants you to watch the Broncos because we're relevant, and we're going to be relevant going into December, going into January, and this is the first time in a long time that we've been relevant at Thanksgiving, and this is awesome news. So looking at our big game against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, really great news, and that news is that we did have a suspension for Kareem Jackson, and we know that PJ Locke is his backup. PJ Locke had a pretty horrific ankle injury, and we thought he's definitely out, so we're going to have to go to JL. We're going to have to go to one of our backup safeties, and we're struggling against the run right now, and Cleveland can run the rock. Well, great news, and that news is that PJ Locke was a full practice participant, which would lead me, it's only Friday, which would lead me to believe that he is going to play on Sunday, and he's going to be playing at altitude against a rookie quarterback who no one even knows who he is. He throws one of the fastest balls in the NFL. I don't think that's going to matter against this crushing orange and blue defense, and that's fantastic. Other great news for our game against the Cleveland Browns is taking a look at their injury report. We are getting healthier. We are starting, all of our offensive line is starting. I cannot remember the last time that we had our entire offensive line healthy moving into a game. That's fantastic news. And then you never want to win because another team is hurt. But the fact is we can capitalize on that. And we have Denzel Ward, who's one of the better corners in the league. He's no Pat Surtain, but he's certainly a stud. And he hasn't practiced for the second day in a row. And a lot of Browns social media and Twitter is saying he is not going to be ready for Sunday, and that, they're pretty much a playoff lock. And so why would they play him when they could wait for him to get healthy? And that defense is stifling. I really like Russ throwing a moonball against a beat up secondary. I really like Cortland Sutton deep if he doesn't have Denzel Ward. I really like Jerry Jeudy across the middle if we don't have Denzel Ward. So everything is lining up for the Denver Broncos to win on Cleveland, make it 5 in a row. Could you even imagine when you looked at our schedule and saw the Chiefs and the Bills and the red-hot Vikings and now the Browns? Could you have imagined 5 in a row? At 1-5, could you have imagined a deep playoff run? We looked and we needed to go 9-2 over our last 11 games. Well, we're getting there. We're getting real close, Broncos country, and this is shaping up to be a deep Broncos playoff run. I really hope you're along for the ride because we're going to the playoffs. Let's ride.